Thank you for purchasing the CSC200 burner management system from ACL. It's a very easy to operate BMS that provides a variety of safety, operational, and environmental benefits. We've put this video together to provide a basic overview and visual aid to help you safely install and operate your heater with the CSC200. We're going to review the contents of your order and demonstrate an installation and operating procedure on a line heater. So let's get started by reviewing the contents of your order.
We will now go through the contents of your new CSC200 burner assembly kit. It includes a CSC200 controller with a manual on and off ignition switch for easy use. It comes with a corresponding CSC200 manual, a high-efficiency burner assembly, manufactured to size for fire tubes ranging from 6 to 18 inches. It comes with a corresponding high-efficiency burner assembly manual. The kit also includes installation accessories such as a dual Type K thermocouple and a corresponding half-inch thermal well with an insertion length of 8.5 inches. A pre-bent 3/16 Inconel igniter rod with strain relief and Raja connector. A barrel assembly that consists of a 1-inch Venturi barrel of ordered length and a 1-inch mixer that features a factory-installed number 32 orifice, both of which are designed for the mixing of air and fuel. Also, a barrel bracket for the mounting of the ignition module and a U-bolt. A 3-try ignition module with corresponding mounting screws. A 24-inch high-voltage ignition wire with easy connectors for installation. A 4-wire ignition module wiring harness with ground. A set of test leads with instructions to check microamp flame current. A mounting hardware package for the CSC200 controller, and a spare brass orifice pre-drilled to number 72.
Now we will go over the parts and assembly of the burner, starting with the ON nozzle at the front. The Venturi barrel screws into the nozzle. The other end is the Venturi end that screws into the mixer. The mixer also has an air adjustment on the back of it. On the Venturi barrel, use the bracket supplied with the U-bolt to mount your ignition module. Out of the ignition module comes your ignition wire to your igniter rod, and the wiring harness that will connect to your field wiring also has a ground wire that connects to the ground lug on your nozzle. The igniter rod comes through to the front and should be about a 1/8 gap that provides the spark and the sensing. Now we're going to move into the dip switch settings and the electrical terminations for the CSC200. Wiring inputs to the CSC200. Ensure correct polarity of 12 to 24 volt DC to terminals 19 and 20 for the power input to the controller. Incorrect polarity can lead to damage to the board. Terminals 15 to 18, power, alarm, valve, and ground wires to the ignition module. Terminals 13 and 14 for a switch on a proof of closure valve if used. Terminals 11 and 12 are a dry set of contacts that change state when controller is running for status back to the PLC or RTU. Terminals 9 and 10 for shutdown inputs such as pressure or level switches. They must be dry contacts and wired in a series loop. Terminals 7 and 8 for a remote reset from a normally closed dry contact switch. Terminals 5 and 6, the ignition on-off switch that is pre-wired. Terminals 3 and 4, TC2 or high temp thermocouple input. Terminals 1 and 2, TC1 or running temperature thermocouple. Yellow is positive, red is negative. Valve inputs. terminals 23 and 24 for T-main or temperature control valve, terminals 25 and 26 for main shutdown valve, terminals 27 and 28 for the pilot valve. Solenoid driver switches. All switches down is 100% power to the valve outputs, or they are selectable in combination between 40, 20, and 10 that add together for a lower power consumption of the valves. Dip switches. Power fail latch, high temp latch, and shutdown latch. Set to latch the controller for manual reset, or auto light when shutdown is cleared. Intermittent or continuous pilot, power save mode, temperature control 2, high and low range, temperature control 2, disable or enable, temperature control 1, high or low range, button disable enable for temp 2 settings or high temp shutdown. This prevents unwanted changes being made to temp 2 set point. Deadband 2 and deadband 1 for deadband setting combinations. Degrees Celsius, degrees Fahrenheit. Further explanation is in the manual. Here is an example of a CSC200 installation on a small line heater. The flame arrestor needs to be in good condition with all seals and bolts in place. The CSC200 controller can be mounted in a Class 1 Div 2 area, preferably close to the burner to hear and observe the operation. This valve train has 2 main valves and a pilot valve in a slipstream formation. Check with your local authority to meet applicable codes for your area. Use Type K thermocouple wire to connect to the thermocouple to enable best temperature readings. The burner assembly is easily installed with the secondary air control plate sized to fit the fire tube and also provides support. The orifice needs to be sized to the required BTU and may need to be drilled out to the correct size. Startup sequence. Turn the switch to the on position. The on light will be indicated. The ignition module will start sparking and pilot gas sent to the burner and should light after 2 or 3 sparks. After pilot is proven for 10 seconds, the main valves will open and the main burner come on. The flame should be mostly blue with orange tips. The burner will run until the set point temperature is reached and then turn off. After the process cools down below the set point, the CSC200 will light the burner and start the sequence again. Setting temperature set points. Press the 1-2 button to select temp 1 or temp 2 as indicated by the green light. Press either arrow button once to show the set point and keep pressing or press and hold to change the set point up or down to desired temperature. With the CSC200 lighting and maintaining the burner, reaching desired temperature, and shutdowns functioning correctly, it is now ready to be put into service.
We want to thank you again for your business, and if you have any questions, please call us at 1-877-638-5234. Again, that's 1-877-638-5234.